pressure cooker, rice cooker, food's laid out. Today I'm actually going to be doing meal prep here at home, but where are my manners? I'm so sorry. Hello, my misfits. How are you? I hope you've been well. Things have been good here. It's been busy. I picked up 2 new meal prep clients, so I'm in the kitchen kind of working on some new things. Thought I would bring you guys in with me, trying to do these vlogs a bit more frequent. We've got 4 dishes that I'm doing today. Those 4 dishes are a Greek-inspired, it's one of my favorite words to use in cooking, Greek-inspired orzo pasta. And then we're gonna be doing a Korean-inspired Korean fire chicken. Then I'm gonna be doing a kind of like a beef stir fry. And then I've got in these paper towels trying to soak up all the moisture from the salmon. I'm gonna be doing these tomato and adobo roasted salmon. Delicious. We've got our starches. Now, when you do meal prep, one of the things that I always try to tell people is you can do things like get your starches, brown rice, quinoa, whole wheat, drum whole wheat, orzo pasta, and then I've got this chow mein. They didn't have soba noodles. That's what I wanted to use, but we got the chow mein. I like to get all of that done first, lay out the containers, let that cool, get going on the entrees, and then incorporate the vegetables, if any, and then it'll all come together towards the end. So with that being said, I'm gonna get started on this, and then when all of the cooking is done, we'll come back and we'll talk about and recap, and I'll show you some tips and tricks along the way. And if you have any tips and tricks, things you see that I'm not doing that I should be, I'm sure you'll let me know. With that being said, let's get into the first dish. I'm gonna get the orzo Greek pasta started because that's something that needs to go into the pressure cooker. You can slow cook it if you want, but I don't have all that time. So with that being said, let's get you mounted. That's what she said. And then we'll just get started. We'll see how this goes. Quick, easy recipes. Each of these probably, except for the braising of the beef, 30 minutes or less, easy. 45 minutes to an hour on the Greek orzo pasta, but so worth it. Let's get started. You can see now that I have my lo mein, not chow mein, my lo mein and my orzo. I've got water boiling for the lo mein, water boiling for the orzo. Over here, preheat this Instant Pot on the saute feature because we're gonna brown that roast over there before we slow cook it. And then I went on ahead and got the brown rice going because that takes like 45 minutes to go. And then I've got the quinoa on standby, and we're gonna be using just some mushroom broth to cook that in. That's letting me know the saute is ready. So I'm gonna get started on seasoning the pot roast, getting it into the slow cooker, because again, that's gonna take pretty much the longest, about 45 minutes to an hour. So let's get started. All right, so we're gonna get started on this roast. Basically just gonna give it a little bit of coating of olive oil, simply as a binder. You really don't even need olive oil as a binder, but I like using it just because it helps. The garlic that I use, I actually use this garlic. These are actually dry roasted garlic that I like to use, and they'll actually bloom when you put them in here and then you put it into the pot roast. It'll bloom, gives it a great flavor. So salt, pepper, garlic is what you're gonna do on all sides. You can be generous with this as well if you're like garlic like me. Keep in mind, when you salt something this size, this thick, if you will, you want to be very generous because you're going to be salting the entire thing, not just the outside, but the entire thing inside and out. So people would say, that's a lot of salt. It is a lot of salt, but you need a lot of salt to flavor that much meat. Even more salt on the edges. You just scrape up all the excess on the bottom of the pan. Try not to waste anything. That, my friend, is good and coated. Now we're gonna get it into this pressure cooker. All right, so keep in mind too, that garlic is going to bloom. And what I mean by bloom is, now that there's moisture from the meat on there, that meat is going to open up that garlic. It's going to rehydrate it, if you will. Now, we're gonna saute it in this slow cooker first, sear it on all sides, get a nice GBD, golden brown delicious. You could probably cut this into a couple of pieces to manage it better. As a matter of fact, I might do that. But first, go ahead and get a little vegetable oil in there because we're gonna saute that. All right, now you're basically just gonna let that sear on every side for about 2.5 minutes, just to get a nice golden brown color, a little GBD, golden brown and delicious. That garlic already smells amazing. Depth of flavor is what this particular dish is about. And when you sear it off like that, that's all you're doing is giving it a little bit more depth of flavor. But you also can add fire roasted tomatoes. We're gonna do 2 cans of fire roasted tomatoes. We're gonna put a little bit of cinnamon in this dish. Trust the process. I know it might sound a little weird, but cinnamon in meat dishes, such a beautiful combination that I don't think is done enough. Anyway, let's check on this beef. Oh yeah, that's what you want right there. That's beautiful. That flips over. All right. And just so you know how fast the process goes, that orzo pasta already done. The lo mein in water, cooling off, stop the cooking process. Brown rice is still cooking, as you can see there, but it's starting to bloom and come to, and then we'll get started on that quinoa, AKA quinoa. I said quinoa in a video one day and people went sideways. You call yourself a shit? Please understand, I do have a sense of humor. And sometimes I'll do things just to see if you're paying attention. Speaking of paying attention, let me cook and get to a point where I won't have my anxiety coming through my chest, making sure I don't burn anything, because God forbid, I'll never hear the end of it. All right, so the timing on this worked out perfect. I've got a few cloves of garlic. I've got the tomatoes I was talking about. I'm gonna go ahead and just drop more garlic in there. And then you don't even need to take out the meat, but as you can see, the meat is juicy and freaking amazing. So we're gonna get this in here. A little surface area action. Dump in those tomatoes, opposite sides of each other. You can add a little red wine to this, deglaze the pan if you want. Not something I'm doing this time. Just like to get it all submerged and coated. This is actually a good time. You can put in the orzo pasta and cook it in here as well while it pressure cooks. I like to cook them separate. That's just me. Don't forget to add a little bit, about a teaspoon and a half of cinnamon, because cinnamon is like cumin. It can totally take over a dish. I'll just mix this around a bit. Give you guys a peek as to what we're looking at before it goes in. And there you go. Now we're gonna get the lid on it. And then we are going to pressure cook for 45 minutes. And we should be good to go. Now the goal for me ultimately is to have everything else pretty much done within that 45 minutes, at least prepped. Like I've got the salmon, the chicken, and the beef. It's 3 things over there I want to try to get done in about 45 minutes. And since the starches are all done except for the brown rice is still working, I'll get the quinoa in next, and that will cook relatively quick, about 12-15 minutes. And it should all wrap up hopefully within the next hour and 15. Right now, it's 3 o'clock. It's like 2 till 3. See if we can get done by 4:15. Ambitious, but I'm confident. All right, so that white rice, literally just finished. Let that cool off. All right, next we're gonna go ahead and get started on the stir-fry orange beef with scallions. Gonna just take this prime sirloin I got at Costco, cut it into relatively thin strips, 1/8 of an inch or less. You want to go against the grain so that way when you pull, it pulls nicely whenever it's cooked. We'll do about 1.5 pounds of this, season it with a Chinese 5-spice, put it into a nice hot pan, and then make the sauce. So let's do that. All right. You have to think smart when you're cooking. So before I even cut this up, I'm gonna get a pan nice and hot. About a medium-high heat. Using a carbon steel pan, love these. If you don't have a wok, next best choice right there. So we got all that meat nice and thinly cut. Now we're gonna add that Chinese 5-spice. Not too much, a little goes a long way with this stuff. There you go. Make sure you coat it well. All right. Pressure cooker's going, pan is hot, quinoa is cooking. On a side note, if you've never used Chinese 5-spice, literally smells just like Christmas. It's the cinnamon, the star anise. It smells so amazing, especially when you start cooking it. Speaking of, let's get some oil in that pan. All right, here we go. Pan nice and hot. I might have to turn off the fan. Might have to turn on the fan so it might get noisy. Now we'll be good. Smells so incredible. All right, after about 3 minutes of that searing, we're gonna get that all flipped over. Starting to look good, smells amazing. It's about what it should look like right there. For now, just gonna get both sides to look like that. All right, so the next step to this is going to be adding an orange marmalade and soy sauce, because some of you may have been thinking he hasn't put any salt on that. No. When you have food like this, usually when it's cooked in a wok, Asian style type food, you're gonna be seasoning with salt using soy sauce. The marmalade's gonna give it a nice orange flavor. We're gonna squeeze some fresh orange, a little orange zest as well. It's a nice orange beef stir fry, if you will. And if you look, still on, that steam still going. We're going so fast that the pressure cooker hasn't even started my countdown for 45 minutes. Let's go. But the more I talk, the more time I waste. So let's, oh, it just sealed. It's begun. All right, so now we're gonna grab that soy sauce, brand new bottle. Just give it a little once over, about 2 tablespoons and a half. A little salty with that. Then we're using this orange marmalade, or as I used to say, marmalade. Marmalade. Good spoonful. Good spoonful. I could literally just pop that in right in there. Then we're gonna take our tongs, give her a good toss. It's supposed to be for 4 servings, but I could literally eat this all by myself right now. Okay. Let's get a little orange with some orange zest. Zest first. Take off that sticker. Oh my God, it smells so good. Now the acid in this orange will also help break down the meat even more so, tenderizing it. So, wash your hands. Out of paper towels. Now I'll give it one last good toss. Oof. And it should look beautifully coated, just like so. We are going to give that one a try right there. So good. A little more soy sauce, AKA salt. One more toss. And then into a bowl. And we'll set that aside until we're ready to put it in its container. Turn off the heat. Cool that down. Wash it in a minute. And then I also got some snow peas. So I'm actually going to put this back on the fire, and I'm going to saute the snow peas for that real quick, that are going to go in the beef. So it'll be the beef, the lo mein, and then the snow peas. So let's do that. Oh, back here, a little olive oil. This is just going to be a quick. All right, that time frame, gonna cut it close. Beautiful. First person POV. And that's real life right there. There you go. Orange beef, snow peas. It's gonna go on top of lo mein. We're gonna get this packaged up and move on to the next. All right, get these into these little black containers. Get these all portioned out. A little extra sauce. It smells so good. We'll get lids on. Well, actually, we're gonna let that cool off for a bit. That's still steaming. Try to let these cool off as much as you can before you put them in the fridge. You don't want that condensation to build up on the top of the lids. I sometimes forget, but I can turn this off now. Now I'm gonna get started on the, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the Korean fire chicken. I think I'm just gonna kind of go fast through this one. Now, before we get started on the next dish, let's just clean up a little bit from the previous. Pretty good job, didn't get too dirty, but I think, you know, just get cleaned up and organized real quick. I'll be right back. 9 more minutes on the pressure cooker. I've got about 35 minutes till 4:15. I'm not gonna make my deadline just because, you know, I had to clean up the kitchen. I also did chop up the chicken for the next dish I'm gonna do. This is gonna be for the Korean fire chicken. I'm gonna make this fire sauce. Basically, it's gochujang, soy sauce, rice wine vinegar, or just white vinegar if you have that, a little bit of sesame oil. Is it the hottest thing you're ever gonna have? No, but for most people, it could be considered fire sauce. I like the new packaging, by the way. They did a great job at that. So I'm gonna get this sauce made, get it marinated in the chicken. This chicken is actually gonna be made in the air fryer. You can actually put it in the oven at the top part where it broils. But look, here's the thing. A lot of the cooking that I do is going to be for more everyday people. Like, I do everything mostly in my pressure cooker and my air fryer. I rarely ever use the oven. Why? Because it takes too long to heat up for just me. That's the thing I think a lot of people don't like about cooking for one. There's some things that just take too long. For instance, the oven. By the time the oven is preheated to 375 or whatever degrees you want it to, the air fryer is halfway through cooking your meal. So get into the mindset the air fryer is here to stay. Let's just say that. And I'll probably be doing a video on my favorite air fryers. I have this one here. I've got a new one down here. The basket ones. I like the basket ones, I think, better than the ones with the sleeves or the shelves in them. Let's make this marinade. And then the salmon again, the salmon will be air fried. Nothing has gone in the oven. And that's mostly what we're gonna do, is mostly cooking for 1 to 4 people. Really simple, easy recipes that are flavorful and delicious. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, bell for notifications that I tell you in the meantime, while I get you set up and I get ready for the sauce. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna get. All right, so usually we're gonna do about half a cup of the gochujang, but I'm gonna use a little bit more since I've got a little extra chicken. I want to make extra of this, so we'll probably just use the rest of this. I mean, can't have enough fire sauce, can you? All right, then you're gonna use a little rice vinegar. Usually close to about a 1/4 cup. I don't even think I have that much. I'm just gonna use the rest of that. It's about a 1/4 cup. Soy sauce, we're gonna be using about a 1/4 cup. I hate these things. There we go, and just keep that off. And then when I say a little bit of sesame oil, I mean a little bit, because a little bit of sesame oil goes very, very long way, and that's probably too much. Oh, that's good. Oh, that'll make you a man. That's spicy. All right, so now this is all mixed up together. We're gonna just go ahead, pour it into the chicken. I need to get an overhead camera, don't I? I have one. This is fine. Start buying that, and you start buying another thing. So, I've got a drone, and I've got beef footage out, and I despise beef footage. Sorry, you're not gonna get a lot. Next, we're gonna mix this chicken up in this marinade. We're gonna let it sit in here for about 10 minutes. We'll put it on a pan, and then put it in the air fryer for probably about 8 minutes. Flipping it halfway through, letting it get a nice char on the top. Nice GBD, okay? Okay? All right, so this is one of the main reasons why I like the dual shelves. When you have these dual shelves, you have this bottom pan. Now this bottom pan is nice because I will actually put that broccoli there on the bottom of the pan, and then I'll take this pan, which will have that chicken, and put it in the top, so that way the air fryer, which the burners on the air fryer up on the top, and it has a fan that blows it down. That's where you get the crispiness from the air fryer. So when I do that, the juices from the chicken will fall down onto the broccoli, cooking the broccoli and seasoning it with the juices. Now, for those of you who are like, ew, that's gross, raw chicken dropping onto the broccoli, it's cooking. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna cook. We're actually gonna take the broccoli out at the end and put it at the top of the rack and give a nice little char to the broccoli, because I like my broccoli with a little umami flavor, which is that char on the top. Gives it that earthiness flavor. It's delicious. Then you toss it at the end, or you can keep it separate, which I'll probably do in this case because I don't want the broccoli to get soggy. But anyway, that's when I like the dual shelf air fryer. But generally, I like the basket better. What do you like? Let me know in the comments. Do you prefer a basket or do you like the dual shelves? I don't know. I like the side-by-side baskets, but those are smaller and limited. But I guess that's fine if it's just like you and one other person. That's just such a sad, it's a sad air fryer. It's like cooking for one. I need a girlfriend. All right, so let's begin this process. Pan, broccoli. I like to coat the broccoli. A little bit of olive oil. Just gonna put it right on that bottom pan. Spread it out evenly. And we're gonna put that right in the bottom. Then we're gonna take that rack we're gonna put on the top. Now this chicken's gonna have all of that sauce. It's gonna be super drippy. So that's why you wanna put this pan underneath this rack. Okay, so that way we can save a little bit on cleanup. So we're gonna take this chicken. We're just gonna do one even layer of the chicken, and it already smells amazing. Don't eat the raw chicken. That's not good. But it may be good, but I'll let you decide on your own. I'm not. Okay. All right, so the one thing I didn't do was preheat the air fryer. So I'm gonna pull the broccoli out, preheat it, get everything in. I'll be right back. Okay, so air fryer is ready. We're gonna take this broccoli, bottom shelf, then we're gonna take the chicken and we're gonna actually look at all the drippings there. All those drippings, and now those drippings are gonna go into the broccoli. We're gonna set that onto the top rack. Remember, it's all gonna cook, so if the raw chicken drops onto the broccoli, it's really okay. We're gonna give that a close. It's gonna go 400 degrees and it's gonna be 10 minutes, 9 minutes, but we'll flip it over halfway through. And in the meantime, we're going to do the rest of the chicken. Let me get a glove. No glove, no love. And we'll save the rest of this sauce in here. We'll make a cocktail and serve that to the people we like the least. I understand it's a dark sense of humor, but it's the only one I have. So be my friend and you won't have to worry about drinking chicken juice martinis. That's ready to go. Glove can come off. And just like that, the chicken is done and it looks amazing. So from the first rack, that's the char I was talking about that you want. We're gonna get this over here onto another pan. Then we're gonna take this broccoli and then we're gonna put it on the top shelf here. We're not gonna do a pre-warm on it. We're just gonna do it for about 4 minutes. And remember, it's gonna take about 2 minutes to preheat. So technically you're getting about 6 minutes in there and we're just gonna char it a little bit. It doesn't have to be cooked more because it's already cooked through steam. It's actually steamed itself in there as well. So that's pretty much done. I'm gonna get started on the salmon, which I think is a dish that's gonna be made in the saute pan. So we're gonna do it in the saute pan. We'll see. I'm gonna work with it. We're gonna see how it all pans out. Oh, that was so bad. So bad. I can't believe I forgot this. Taste test the fire chicken. Hello. All right, let's get this nice dark piece right here. Oh, look at that. Thing of beauty. This chicken is so good. I really want you guys to make it. If you're into spicy chicken, make this. Let me know in the comments. Actually, tell me in the comments which of these 4 dishes are you more likely to make at home. And if you do try it, tag me. Also, speaking of tagging me, follow me on the gram of Insta. Post your food there, tag me, so that way I can see it a little bit easier. Because on here, I don't know how the whole tag thing works. But yeah, let me know. And don't forget to follow me on the gram of Insta. Can we say that on here? I don't think so. But you know what I mean. Follow me there, same thing, Culinary Misfits. Okay, so I was in the process of getting ready to start the salmon. I looked at the broccoli literally 2 minutes in, and it's pretty much done. This right here, look at all that steam coming out. This right here, that's all I was going for right there. That right there, so beautiful. That's all I was going for. All right, so now we've got these garlic cloves. We're gonna do a thin slice on these garlic. Slide your knife blade up, please. Thank you. All right, after it's all said and done, we've got enough garlic there. This is a very garlic-centric dish, maybe. Garlic, tomatoes, a little honey. Yes, honey. Let's make it. All right, nice medium heat pan. Little veggie oil. Slide in that garlic. This will go pretty quick. Anybody else open their cans like this with the thing sideways? With the can opener sideways? So that way when you open it, it'll catch your lid for you so it doesn't fall into your food. Then you just release it. Did you know that? Then you can put it right back on if you needed a lid. There you go. But we're gonna use the whole can. Open that can of chipotle and adobo. The more you use, the spicier it is. Keep that in mind. I'll use the whole can, not today. Now we're gonna take this. This is crush roasted tomatoes away from you. Okay. Go. Now we're going to push the spoon down into the can, get that juice out. I'll just use the juice today. A little bit of heat. If you wanted a lot more heat, just use those peppers. These are actually jalapenos. They got really mad, they turned red. I don't know if they were really mad, but anyway. We'll save those for a different dish. Now we're going to go in with a little salt, a little pepper. Now with this dish, what makes it unique is the fact I'm going to add a little sweetness to it. That spicy, that sweet, that garlic. Oh, I just thought I want to garnish this with that roasted garlic. This right here. I'm going to garnish it with this on top so there's a little bit of crunch to this dish as well. But first, let's get the salmon cooked. Now I'm going to put in some honey. Chicken's done. All coming together. Just about 2 tablespoons of honey, or 3 if you're like me and super sweet. Give that a mix. We're going to turn the heat down, put it onto a simmer. I'm going to taste this really quick as well. Could use more heat. Oh, there it comes. Do I still need it? Yeah, a little bit more heat. That's a slow heat. It'll sneak up on you. Oh, that is so good. All right, now we're gonna take our salmon, basically poaching it in this sauce. We're gonna cook it till it's about 120. We will put a lid on this. I don't have a lid for this pan, so I'm just gonna use some foil. I'll just put it in here, flip it, coat both sides. Oh my God, it's so good. Its sauce is just sticking with me. Okay. And by the time we're done with everything else, it should be ready, but we do need to get foil on this really quick. So let me get foil on that. Foil's on that pan. Chicken, broccoli, done. Next round of chicken. Oh, that could use a little bit longer in there, yeah? Yeah, let's give it a little bit more. So we are going to get this chicken in here, along with the broccoli. And we'll put one in the air fryer in here. And a little broccoli right in the center. A little bit of sesame seeds. All right. Perfect spot right here, second shelf. You guys cold in here? Can I get you a warm cup of cocoa or a sweater? Yeah? Okay, no. All right. Chicken has gone off a second time. I think we should be good. Oh, yeah, we are. We're real good. That's it off into the pan. Let that cool off. I would just like to go on record that I'm late because of you, because I love you and I want you to get the full experience. I would have been done like an hour ago, because you can stack cook, meaning you can have 3 things going at once. And I usually do that, but I don't want to mess anything up because I wanted to do it for you. I hope you know how much I love you. All right, here's where our salmon's at. We're just gonna give her a little flip. See if I can do it without her falling apart on me. Oh, yeah, oh, she broke. It's all good. There we go. That's ready to come out, actually. Let's get this salmon in the pan. It actually broke in half, which is perfect. There we go. Oh, this smells so incredible. The vegetable for this is that tomato sauce. Oh my gosh. Chipotle adobo tomato sauce right on top. And we'll garnish that with a little chive. I think everything's getting garnished with chive tonight. Garlic, get that crunch. And this is gonna have some green beans with it. I just put them on. Totally forgot about them, but I've got them cooking right now. They're green beans. She's just been sitting here steeping in her sweet, sweet juices. Mine's out of the gutter, please. Children are in the room. Oh, it's falling. That's so tender. Sorry. Oh my gosh, look at that. So not that I would ever play favorites with anything, with my food, my children that I don't have. This is by far one of my favorite dishes. I'll put this together, top it off with a little feta cheese. It's delicious. This is the Greek-inspired orzo braised beef pasta. It's so good. Make it. This is that whole wheat drum orzo. And you could just put the whole, just cover the bottom, because we're gonna put that braised beef right on top of that. Let's just do that, be a little faster. For the dreams to come. Oh, that beef is so good. If you're single and you make this dish, make it for her parents. Make it for his parents. They will love you. Now I portion it out like this just to make sure it all gets roughly around the same amount of meat. This is where the magic happens. Right here. Oh. Oh. All right, there you go. Feta cheese crumbled on top. Add a little basil on here if you want. Oh, it's gonna be so good. So good! And then we'll finish off with a little green. That way we keep mom happy. All right, let that cool off and then we'll get it in the fridge. Oh no, I made too much. All right, and just to recap, this is gonna be the orange beef with snow peas and lo mein. This will be the tomato chipotle adobo salmon with green beans, brown rice. Over here, we're gonna have the fire chicken, one of my favorite dishes. Fire chicken, roasted broccoli at the bottom, and of course, we've got a little bit of quinoa on there, and my favorite meal prep dish of all time. That's my Greek-inspired braised beef with feta, orzo. It's delicious. And if I did make these for a client, I'm sure they'd love them. I gotta go now. Well, that was fun. What do you think? Was it fun for you? Did you learn anything? That's ultimately what I want to know is, did you learn anything? And are these recipes you'd like to see more of? For instance, the Greek orzo pasta, literally one of my favorite pastas. I would like to put some basil on top. I didn't have any, and I didn't want to put green onions, so the parsley will work. And that's the beautiful thing about cooking, is that the recipe is going to say one thing, but your palate, your mind, it's going to say something else. Go with what you like. Food is subjective. It's the reason why I don't like food critics. I don't like it when people go to restaurants and like, well, I think this meal was a 7.3. I don't care. If you don't cook, I don't care. How about that? But if you do cook, and it's okay to have an opinion, that's the beautiful thing about food. But when you're making content on other people's food that you had nothing to do with other than criticizing it, which brings me to another thing I'll be doing soon called restaurant remakes. I have a delicious meal from an amazing restaurant. I try the meal and say, this is delicious. I'd like to do something different for myself that I think could possibly be better. Will it be? I don't know. All right, well, kitchen is all clean. Food is put away. Pan is washed, seasoned in the oven, hour and 30 minutes at 425 degrees. It's warm in my apartment. Did you learn anything? Did you have a good time? That's all I care about is, did you have a good time? How was it all? Just let me know in the comments if this is something that you guys want to see more of. Hit the like, subscribe, share this video with a friend. Let me know in the comments what I can cook for you. I'm gonna go now, okay? Love ya. Bye.